Yes. Come back here with us.
So today I decided to come to Slyman's for my very first time, corner of East Route 31st and St. Clair, just outside of downtown Cleveland. Lunchtime hour. Waited about 15 to 20 minutes. I didn't think they were going to be doing dine-in where you could sit down because the signs outside said like carry out only, but they were doing dine-in, so figured I would try to start my live stream here. Yeah, it looks like a good sandwich, right? I'll try to arrange this where it's facing me.
That's it.
Your name?
Kenny.
Sweetie, what's your first name?
We just call him my phone.
So I won't have the camera showing me eating the whole time. I'll point it the other way. Yeah, that's the corned beef again, and then also these nice crinkle fries.
I'm bringing it right now.
I figured with St. Patrick's Day coming up, where the lines will be ridiculous at this place, I mean, it'd make for a good start to today's live stream.
Oh, Laura.
George Gabriel's pointing out Mike and Dee's
How many you got?
in downtown on Vincent in the lobby.
Here.
I've seen pictures of that online. Well, George, believe me, I'm obsessed with my subscriber count, so all I can say is I'm not sure what you saw, but I definitely never got to 1.7K. I just passed 1.3 the other day, and I watch it like 5 times a day. Allocated Brain says that they're eating lunch at home today, about to head out to the Red Line Greenway and towpath to Old Brooklyn via bicycle. Nice. Careful with that ice out there. Hopefully it's melted on the trails, but when I walked sidewalks this morning on West Boulevard, it was just a sheet of ice everywhere. Yeah, but Slyman's is often thought of as having the best corned beef in the country. I think you've had George Bush here, Joe Biden, LeBron James, and probably many other celebrities. Welcome, Caffeinated Misfit. Real sandwiches. Yep. It takes a while to eat this, but I'm trying to eat relatively quick so I can continue walking outside a little bit. Yes, I showed the sandwich in the very beginning. I'll try to show it again here. I just finished half of it. So I ate one half. They give you big sandwiches, although it is pricey. I think it's like $18 to $20 for the sandwich. I think it's $4 for the side of crinkle fries.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of sandwiches here, but I figured if I'm going to do a video, I want to try it. Might as well do the famous corned beef. Yeah, how can I be a lifelong Cleveland resident? And this is my first time ever actually coming to the famous Slyman. For those watching, after I'm finished eating here, I plan on doing a little bit of a walking tour headed back toward downtown. So when I got here outside, there were about 6 people outside the door outside. Inside there was probably like 6 to 7 people, so I'd say it was about a 15-minute wait.
I'm sorry. 97.5.
I must be a slow eater. The security guard who ordered in front of me, they got a different sandwich, but it looked just as big, and they got the same plate of fries. And he's already He just left right now, and his plates are both cleaned off completely. I think that's about all my stomach can take because it's getting full for the corned beef. Just munching down some fries right now.
I have your money. 15. Oh, he's right here. And then go to dance.
Alright. Wrapping up. I'll be out of here in probably a minute or two.
Mushroom goes right.
She's off at 2:30.
Come pick her up at 2:30.
We'll be back for you, Mom. We'll be back for you.
I told you to pick you up at 2:30.
I'm coming to get you. We're going to Cali.
Don't be
Hold
late.
it up.
Oh, wait, never mind. I want to go. Hey, God. Yeah, thank Number 2. Yes.
Maybe it's a small to-go thing. Thank you. Thank you too.
Did you order in We'll get in trouble. Have a good day, guys. How was it? Good?
Thank you.
All right, we made it outside now. Got my leftovers in a to-go container. Oh, like I said, we're outside now of Slyman's restaurant, Cleveland's biggest corned beef sandwich. I don't think I did maybe I did. I forget if I did a proper introduction at the beginning, but today is Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. Roughly 30 degrees outside. You can see the lines just a tad longer from when I first came in, but if I had to guess based on when I was there, I would say it is a 20-25 minute wait if you just get here. But from what I've heard of this place over all the years, at the corner of St. Clair and East 31st, is that 2 days from now on St. Patrick's Day, and maybe even the day after that. I don't know. I don't know if they're open on Saturdays, but Friday at least, if you try to go there, the line will be like absurdly ridiculous. Like you have to wait probably hours. Yeah, but I was confused by the signage outside because, and on their website, it said carry out only, no dine-in. But they were offering dine-in service, so I don't know. Maybe the no carry-out, or sorry, maybe the no dine-in is meant for St. Patrick's Day when they're really crazy busy. Let me see here, I missed a few comments while I was exiting. Linda says, hello from Maryland. Welcome, Linda. Thanks for joining us. Perishable Goods 13 says, a bit chilly, but otherwise really nice weather in Cleveland today. Yeah, it's the sun. Great to see the sun out. It is seemingly melting the ice. Well, maybe not so much on the bridge here. In fact, even though I probably wanted to stay on the side, I'm going to cross over there because the sun, you know, you can see the sun's not melting that side, but it's all clear on that end. Allocated Brain says, my grandparents and I tried going to Slyman's a year or two ago, but didn't want to wait. And you also asked, get a view of Rhodes Tower for me, the CSU building. Well, I definitely know what Rhodes Tower is, because that's where I came from prior to starting my lunch break. We got the Plant Services building right there for Cleveland State and Property Control, and then beyond that you can see Rhodes Tower. Caffeinated Misfit says that your app says it's 35 degrees there right now in Cleveland. Yeah, it may have warmed up a tad. The high today initially said 40 degrees, and good thing is the wind was supposed to be pretty low, like only 6 miles per hour. Sorry if I'm jerking the camera right now. I'm trying to get my glove back on. So this is an area that I've never covered in my live stream, and I really haven't been down in this spot myself too much. So you can see, even though I typically think of East 24th Street in the Cleveland State area being, like, I feel like I'm still immersed in downtown Cleveland and the big buildings. Down here, I think this is around East, maybe it's East 27th ahead. I can't quite see from here. But it doesn't feel like downtown. right here. But because you do have like a little highway and a bridge, you can kind of think of that maybe as a separator. Of like entering downtown. This is actually East 26th and St. Clair coming up. Yeah, I think I'll stick to walking on this side. Just from the sunlight, it's melted all the snow that was over here. Over there you've got snow and possibly ice. Because this morning, as I said earlier, when I was walking in my neighborhood, down West Boulevard, all the sidewalks, like 70% of them had just full coverage of ice. So I was walking in the grass where the snow was fluffy to avoid the ice. Caffeinated Misfit says it should get to 60 degrees in Atlanta today. Well, we've been spoiled here in Cleveland with very nice weather this year. And even though it snowed like a little bit over the past 2 days, it still is basically nothing. I mean, snowplows hardly had much of a chore doing work. Let me try to point out, again, I'm not familiar with these places, but let me try to point out what we're walking by here. Low Prestige Union Club Bar and Restaurant. And then something that looks kind of interesting over there, Fabulous Pawn Shop Cleveland, Uncle Ben's Fabulous Pawn Shop. So we got a pawn shop at 26th and St. Clair. Granny Ann's Dry Cleaning. And then, what is that? Immigration Attorneys? Some type of immigration attorney's place. Yeah, going back to the weather, we've had quite a few, between January, February, and March, we've had quite a few spring-like days and not a whole lot of winter days. March has been the most wintry month, I would say. And yet we have spring coming this Monday, I believe, if I got my calendar correct. Allocated Brain also said, got the WCSB antenna tower atop there. The tower has been there for some decades, but the 3-bay antenna array was replaced a couple years ago. Allocated Brain, I can't remember if that was you or someone else. I know a user, and I was commenting back and forth with them a couple days ago, was talking about the radio station and the tower, the antenna on Rhodes Tower. I forget if that was your username specifically or if that was coincidentally another user. What is this? Cove City Church. So this is, I don't know, I guess a church here? And what was that behind us? The Velvet Rope. Well, based on the icon of the graphic, that almost looks like it would be like a strip club or something, right? I don't know. Across the street we've got a Sherwin-Williams brick and mortar location where they're actually selling, well, it says professional industrial sales, so maybe that's not for regular customers. I don't know. It probably is for regular customers too. You can't see the Sherwin-Williams construction from here of the new headquarters building, but someone posted a nice graphic the other day on Twitter. I didn't save it to my phone, so I can't pull it up during the live stream, but it was like someone superimposed just how little they've built of the Sherwin-Williams headquarters buildings compared to what the final product is supposed to be. Like, they're probably, the height that you see in the construction is probably only like 15% done, 20%. There's still a ways to go. have up here at East 23rd in St. Clair, Magic City Lounge. This seems like another, I may be using the wrong term, but like I'm calling it strip club or place like that. Exotic dancers, I don't know, could be just something along those categories. I used to think of those places being maybe in the flats or along Brook Park Road somewhere. But apparently they've got some down here at this end of St. Clair, leading into downtown or leading away from downtown, depending on which way you're going. Some place called Firefighters Community Credit Union. And this looks like My Car By LLC, maybe an auto repair shop. Allocated brain, yeah, it was in the mural video that I was talking about, that comment. A lot of these buildings here are very nondescript. Like, you know, you're walking along them. They don't look like rundown buildings. They look like they're in good shape, but can't really say what's in them. I feel like they're occupied by someone. They don't look like they're unoccupied. And most of them have a signage that says notice 24-hour surveillance. Yeah, this is an interesting feeling because there have been many a times where or pretty much all my college and working life. By the way, we have Leather Stallion Saloon. Leather Stallion. Oh, that one's the Leather Stallion Saloon. So that's a bar, but I don't know if that is also like similar to the other things. Yeah, but all my college and working life, I've always come in from the west side. I'm not an east sider. So this is a unique perspective to actually be like walking and seeing downtown Cleveland from this end and walking toward it. It almost makes me feel like I'm back in St. Louis, where I was like constantly going in and out of downtown and seeing the downtown area from different angles. It's funny because like when I go on that conference to St. Louis, anytime I'm not doing conference stuff, I'm busy sightseeing as much as I can. And I shoot out so many videos, and I come back to Cleveland, you would think to yourself, oh yeah, time to crank out a ton of Cleveland videos now. But in a sense, a lot of times when I come back to Cleveland, it's, I don't want to say back to reality, but it's like back to, you know, there's work and like normal everyday stuff I have to do or take care of. And then also the past couple of days with my Cleveland Browns blog, I was helping cover free agency, so that was occupying time. So yeah, it's not always the case where just because I'm back in Cleveland and I'm able to shoot a lot of Cleveland videos, but that's why I was happy to get out today, and that there wasn't much wind, because yesterday the feels like temperature was 14 degrees with 20-mile-per-hour wind, and I was like, yeah, it's probably not the best. My hands would probably get freezing a few minutes into a live stream, so I'm much happier that I did the live stream video today instead, because my hands are not even anywhere close to being cold right now. Another attorneys at law place down here at East 20th. And this is another strange thing, because I'm so used to Euclid Avenue and Superior Avenue, especially Euclid. Like, I think of East 20th and I feel like I'm right there at Public Square and I'm in downtown Cleveland. But over here at St. Clair, you know, if I turned around and looked the other way, no one would think that. If you just saw a picture of this, no one would think like, oh yeah, you're in downtown Cleveland right now. So I guess, I mean, there's probably a delineation. you probably wouldn't consider this downtown Cleveland, right? Maybe we're the first. Where would you consider like the border of like, okay, now we're in downtown Cleveland? Would that be when you see the Galleria up ahead? That's sort of the cutoff of where I have explored in the past, where the Galleria Erie View Tower building is. For anyone who didn't understand why I was talking about St. Louis, I had a work conference that I was in St. Louis for from February 25th to March 1st. So I cranked out a lot of content and videos during that time, but I think I produced like 13 different videos, and I didn't release them. I couldn't release them all at once, so they were staggered. So I think even leading up to like March 8th, I was still posting the final videos. Got a Bridgestone Firestone place here. I don't know if they're open. They look kind of deserted right now. Alright, this is East 18th and St. Clair. So on the topic of St. Patrick's Day, which is 2 days from now, if they still hold the parade on Friday, the parade would start, I think that's Superior, the next block. Oh no, it's like 2 streets away. So not where the red blinking light is, but the next street. That would be Superior and East 18th, and that's where the St. Patrick's Day parade starts. So if they still go through with the parade on Friday, and the reason I keep saying if is because there's off and on weather forecasts of, like, it's predicted that it's going to rain, like 60% rain or even higher. It just, I don't know if it's going to be a light rain or a downpour. But if they still go through with the parade on Friday, I will attempt to live stream the beginning of it like I did last year. I don't know if I'll start at that corner, because last year when I filmed it, I started off at Superior, and the signal was great for like the first 20-30 minutes, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, bang, it just went to like no cell phone signal. And that's probably because of, you know, you got an influx of people coming downtown and cell tower congestion. And then I had to do like a part 2 of the live stream, which I had to walk all the way to around East 6th and Superior, and then I continued it from there. But I will have to give some thought of where I like begin the live stream, because I also strategically need to get to Tower City by a certain time to get to the red line, and I also want to try to get there before everyone who's drunk and all that stuff is taking the red line to get out of downtown too, so that you're not crammed like sardines. But we'll see how that goes. So this is East 17th. Let me catch up on a couple of the comments that I missed. Perishable goods, 13 expressed, not quite downtown yet. You never know quite where it is until you're there. Yep, and that's what I was saying. Like, I'm pretty sure when I get to the gallery up here, then I'll feel like, all right, I'm in downtown. Akron guy said, hey, cool, you're just a couple blocks from where I got married, corner of East 17th and Superior. Oh yeah, so that would be, well, I passed it up a little bit already, but 17th and St. Clair, so about 2 blocks down from here. We got also over here Danny's Deli, Cleveland Auto Wash, Cleveland Auto Service, a safe company, Key and Security. There's also a Cleveland Cavaliers All-Star banner down there. Wayne says, I think the start of downtown is East 18th. Yeah, I wonder if sometimes if you're on Google Maps and you type in, for example, Lakewood, and you just do a strict search for Lakewood, Ohio, it'll kind of wrap a little thin red line around what Google Maps deems as Lakewood, Ohio. I don't know if that's official, but I usually use that when I'm traveling to certain cities. Like, oh, I'm curious what they consider part of this city. So I wonder if I type in downtown Cleveland on Google Maps. I'll have to do that when I get back to my office. Be curious to see down toward this area what they consider part of downtown Cleveland. Caffeinated Misfit says, weirdly, they did our parade last weekend. Yeah, I know when I was in 2000, before I had the Poco Traveler channel, 2019, my conference was in Orlando. My brother and I were there, and one of the days we went away from, because it was like the conference itself was basically on the Walt Disney World, one of the resorts. But one of the days we actually went to downtown Orlando. We rented bicycles and rode it out to, what was that place called? Oh, the name escapes me, but it was a nice area. We were riding the bikes for about 45 minutes to an hour. And we didn't even know they were having it that day, but like we just pulled up to that area and could see like the St. Patrick's Day parade was about to start, and we were like, oh, this is pretty cool. So we got to see that in Orlando, and that was a pretty nice parade, but it was definitely like a week or two before St. Patrick's Day. Now that I walked this whole way, maybe it's on a different street. Yeah, it must be. I was gonna say there's a place called Noble Beast, like a bar and restaurant area, but now that I'm thinking more about it, I think that's on Lakeside instead of St. Clair. We also have Cleveland Commercial Roofing and Reed's Jewelry. Some place called PPG Paints. Medusa Restaurant and Lounge. And there's another place where there's really no signs on the doors outside, so it's hard to say whether they're open. What else do we have here? Now, this place doesn't look like they're open based on how faded the sign is. Checker Bar Ice Cream. Sorry, oh, that's sad. Sorry, can't survive. We love you all. So one of the businesses that couldn't survive. I don't know if that was how long it's been like that. If that was a pandemic casualty or well before that. Cousin's Cigar Place. See, now we're all the way at East 13th. And you're still toward the lake area. Don't feel like you're in downtown Cleveland. Caffeinated Misfit, you said that Baker Mayfield is officially a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Alright, thanks for the update on that. I know the past couple of days they were saying that Tampa Bay was looking at Baker Mayfield and Jacoby Brissett, which was pretty amusing since that's both former Browns quarterbacks. Yeah, so down there would be Reserve Square and Perk Plaza if you continued by Superior. The Galleria is up ahead. Let's actually pop over toward Lakeside and see if their signal's still good down there. I'm trying to, besides doing Slyman, I'm trying to cover an area near downtown that's different from today's live stream, mixing it up a bit. And a good thing about covering this area is that it's not tree or beautification dependent, and what I mean by that is another reason I've been hesitant to like do a video at I think I mentioned this a couple times, but this Lakeview Cemetery by University Circle is because I'm like, oh, I've waited all this time. I might as well wait until spring when all the flowers are up if I'm going to do a video there. Or certain other neighborhoods months. I'm just like, I might as well wait another month or two to cover that neighborhood. There's a place called Barrister's Deli Restaurant and Catering. Yeah, but this area, yeah, I mean, you can see the trees aren't filled in, but it's not like noticeable per se. Wayne says very windy, bad audio. Oh, really? Interesting. Because there's almost no wind today. So if the audio's bad, my apologies. I'll have to listen back and see what the deal is with that. One of these times I'll try a wireless mic that I have. Now we're on Lakeside Avenue. Yeah, this is the place I was talking about up ahead here. Noble Beast. I was in here once for a trivia night pre-pandemic. There was an organization called Last Call Trivia. I'm sure they still do trivia at various places, but Last Call Trivia was doing one of their trivia nights here. I can't remember if I ate anything that day. I probably did. They're probably an evening place. Or not. I guess they're open for lunch too. 11:30 to 11. Closed Monday, so yeah, they're probably open right now actually. Alright, I'm not going to venture too far down Lakeside. I'm about to cross the street and turn around, get back to the sunny side of things. What is this building? I feel like I should know. This isn't the FBI building, is it? I'll walk down just a little bit to see if I can tell. For some reason, something in my head is saying FBI building. Do they have it marked? I've got my glasses on, but I can't see what it says. Department of Justice. It's too blurry for me to see. I don't want to walk right up to it because I don't know if they're... Oh, now I can see it, yeah. My eyes focused a little bit more. It's, yeah, Federal Bureau of Investigation. So that's the FBI building in Cleveland. Caffeinated Misfit says, we have Team Trivia and Outspoken here. I used to run shows for Team Trivia. Nice. Yeah, those trivia hosts, well, not that they have to be, but it's nice when they're have a little bit of charisma and wit to them, right? And this is Channel 3 WKYC Studios. Not sure what this yellow building is. 1275 Lakeside. I feel like some of these buildings up ahead are the utility company buildings. Yeah, but this is another from the outside, nondescript. There's really no signage indicating what this is. Still got your array of bikes and scooters. Oh, speaking of utility companies, Cleveland Public Power, the Tom L. Johnson building. I respect the following of the color scheme, it being black and orange, and then they have like the orange painted flower bed thingies on the outside. And then the Carl B. Stokes Public Utilities building. I don't know for sure, but I feel like a water company or something is in here. That might make sense that they actually have a drink clean water and water station here. Let's see if it works. I'm not going to fill up my water right now. No! What? If this is the water company, how is it not working? What about the one that dispenses into the water bottle? No. Maybe because it's too cold out and they don't want stuff freezing. I think I did a live stream around my birthday, June 2nd of last year, that started and went in this area because I passed by the construction. Allocated Brain says it is winter, they shut it off. Same with the Metro Parks. Yeah, I guess that makes sense for freezing purposes. Here's the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel. If I had to guess, probably one of the more cost-friendly accommodations near downtown Cleveland. Does the touchscreen work? Make sure I don't press that button, actually. 911 emergency. Touchscreen, no. Oh, maybe I need my glove off. Let's see here. No. Near North Point Tower. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like I'm forgetting the name of it. One of those, I don't know if it's an investment place or some bank place or what it's called again, but one of those big companies near the has a building in the Flats East Bank. I think I read a headline about a month or so ago that they are leaving that building because whatever the company name is, the sign is actually at the top of the building. And I thought I read that they were coming to North Point Tower, which would be this thing here. And the reason I'm just walking over here, I won't stay super long since I featured it in length last year, but I'll pass by one of downtown Cleveland's hidden gems that I feel like hardly anybody knows about unless you work in this area. The Symphonic Suite. I don't hear the music playing now, but when I came by last year, during the summertime, or I guess that would have been spring technically, late spring, they had a little bit of subtle music playing there as well. Now we're at Lakeside and East 9th. I've done this in many live streams and other videos. You take East 9th down, headed north, you hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, First Energy Stadium, and the lakefront. We're not going to go down there today. You can guess the direction of the sun right now because of the fact, remember earlier when we weren't quite in downtown yet, we had sun everywhere here, and you can see like, well geez, there's no building here, so the sun must be right behind us, right? At North Point Tower must be, I know, maybe I'm messing it up. It's actually this building. See, I don't even know what I'm talking about. This building here is shielding the sun. I thought the sun was being coming from behind us. Yes, the fun free stamp. There's no way the live stream camera's going to pick this up, but in person I can see very subtly, like where the sun is hitting the top of that, like the water melting from the snow and dripping down the side of the free stamp. I wonder if they ever touch up the free part, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it would be kind of cool if someone came by and painted the FREE like a darker red, similar to, you know, the rest of the stamp. Or would that ruin it? Wayne also said it amazes me how little foot traffic there is downtown. Yeah, and this also isn't probably the most foot trafficked area anyway, because there's not really dining options here. Allocated Brain also said the Rock Hall is free for Cleveland residents. Yes, it's been a while since I've taken advantage of it, but definitely a nice perk for Cleveland residents. I always get confused, not confused, but I see the sign, path closed for winter. But I don't think it's really closed. I see people walk through here. They don't have it like roped off. I'm just trying to walk up here to show something different than what I've shown in the past. It's a little bit of artwork here. I don't know what to call it, but it's never pass up a chance to see art or some type of sculpture. Laura says Cleveland lost a ton of foot traffic when they closed the 3 major department stores. Yeah, that would be nice to have at least some department store. When I go to these major cities, and when I experience them for the first time, I try to make note like which ones have department stores. So New York City, obviously they've got like everything. But Salt Lake City, they have quite a few department stores downtown. They've got Macy's, why am I drawing a blank here? What's the name of that other one? Nordstrom. They've got even an LV store, Louis Vuitton, and some other places. Seattle has Target, Nike store. They also have a Nordstrom there, I believe, and various other places. They've got a Whole Foods market there. But then when I went to St. Louis, there was, I think, no department stores. So it kind of reminded me, no department stores in downtown. It reminded me of Cleveland in that regard. But it would be nice to get something down here. A lot of residents just keep hoping for a Target one day as the store that would come downtown Cleveland. Although on the same note, I don't know how much of a difference that would make, because like I feel like people outside of downtown Cleveland wouldn't really come downtown just to see the Target store. It would be for residents who are living in downtown Cleveland or working down here during the day. But they keep on building a lot of places in downtown Cleveland for residents to move into. I know the Heinens seems to do pretty well. Something I learned the other day is Reserve Square, which is at East 18th or East 17th and Superior, across from Perk Plaza. When I'm on the bus, I'll pass by a place that's in the Reserve Square area called DGX. And I just assumed, like, okay, it's some store, but I never gave much thought as to what it was. And then, like a week or two ago, I saw an article online, probably when I was reading about the stock market, talking about Dollar General, and it mentioned their DGX store concepts. And I still had forgotten about the downtown Cleveland one, but then on Twitter someone mentioned, oh, you've got Constantino's, Heinen's, and DGX as your like grocery options in downtown Cleveland. And then I had to go to Google Maps, like DGX, like wait a minute, where is that at? And then I got reminded of its Reserve Square location. So yeah, that's like a Dollar General concept. That's a smaller version, but from what I read online, should have like the same prices as a normal Dollar General, and it's located in a downtown area. So that's good for me to know if, say, a visitor comes to downtown Cleveland and says, hey, where can I grab a couple of grocery options? Now, there's another spot you can refer them to. Let me catch up on more of the comments. Wayne said that you used to deliver pizza around there years ago and the area was packed at this time. Oh, I see. Caffeinated Misfit saying none of their department stores are downtown in Atlanta. Need an attraction like Tower City used to be. People would drive up from Canton to go there. Yeah, if they converted, if it wasn't just a Target, like if they put a Target in downtown by itself, it would be cool. But yeah, people aren't going to venture down here just for that. It would be nice for people visiting. But like, I'm speaking again to downtown Salt Lake City since I've been there quite a few times. They have this place called City Creek Center where you've got the Macy's and a bunch of other stores. It's essentially a mall. It is a mall. And then you've got also the Nordstrom connected to it. Then you've also got places like Cheesecake Factory and several other dining options that people would be interested in. So that is an area where I do hear people who are outside of downtown. They'll say, like, oh, let's go to City Creek and either do shopping or like get something to eat. So yeah, if you have a full plan like that, that is, you know, going to have that much development, then I could see it being a nice draw. Dollar General here has all expired food. It says caffeinated misfit. Yeah, generally I don't get food from, unless I'm getting a package of butter cookies or something, I usually don't get many food products from the dollar type of stores. Laura says May Company had a very charming spring festival where they displayed works of art, and one year they had a display of mechanical musical instruments, antique music boxes, and more. Yeah, one day I'm going to have to try to see if there's like a connection. Someone who either is a resident of May Company, like a current tenant who rents, or maybe even like the May Company social media team or something like that. Because I think it would be cool for me to do a video inside and kind of, even though I don't have personal memories since I'm too young to have like known what was what inside, it'd be cool to get a glimpse of some of the remnants and how, like, what conversions have been done inside today. Like when my mom was visiting her old high school that had been converted to lofts, even though I didn't know what it looked like, she got to go in there once when it was lofts because for like an alumni function. And she was still able to point out everything, like, oh yeah, my room used to be down here, this room was here, you know, we did this here. You know. So it'd be nice to kind of get that type of perspective. Caffeinated Misfit says, we have a giant CVS, that's where everyone downtown goes. Yeah, we do have one CVS remaining in downtown Cleveland. Alright, if you haven't figured it out by now, we are making our way to the Sherwin-Williams headquarters once again, because I figured if I'm doing month by month downtown Cleveland updates, how can I not show the latest progress? I'm timing up these traffic lights pretty good. Someone's got letting their dog play around in public square. Perishable goods 13 says Old Stone Church. Yes, just behind me. When I was in St. Louis, I saw St. Basilica Church. I have a short on my channel of that. It's a huge place. They had grand mosaics inside. And I also have a longer tour of that St. Basilica Church inside one of my St. Louis videos. I believe it was the Central West End neighborhood video that has the world's tallest chess piece as the thumbnail. Now you can see here, I'm sure there's a good strategic thing to this. 1,230 square feet of prime retail and restaurant space available, and they're advertising it for here and over there. So it looks like it could be maybe what, 2 storefronts or one big one. But why would that be attractive? Well, big new headquarters building. You can entice, let's say, if you're building a building this big, you have to assume they plan on having a big physical work presence as opposed to a remote work presence. So what better, I mean, I know you have the warehouse district and other options, but that would make this a new, like, attractive option to put some retail into. Got the health line getting ready to pass by here. Not sure why it's taking slow to turn. Before I cross over, let these cars pass by. So again, let me try to block out the sun when I'm showing this. I don't have the tweet, but if you look online on my Twitter account, twitter.com/PocoTraveler, I retweeted it in the past couple of days. It shows a nice, like, rendering of where the current height is, and then it shows, like, just how tall it's supposed to go. So if you can imagine, I swear that, like, right now this is, I mean, that's not that tall even right now, but if you can imagine, that is probably, like, it looks like 20% of what the final product's gonna be. So it's definitely gonna soar and be a tall, real tall building by the time it's done. But one of the newer developments since the last time we were by here is they are kind of getting ready to work on this portion. I don't know where the giant crane is, because I thought last week that a second crane had been installed or maneuvered on this lot. I thought I saw some pictures of it online, but I don't see the crane right now. But yeah, pretty soon they're going to start building this side, I would imagine. Other bit of trivia that I discovered the other day is on that Renaissance Cleveland hotel building in the background. I was passing by on the 22 bus headed home, and I could see something, like, marked in the stone itself. It said Stouffer's Inn on the square. So then I Googled and could see that that hotel used to be branded at one point as Stouffer's Inn, and then Renaissance bought the Stouffer's Inn chain and took over. But that'll be rebranded. It'll still be operated by Renaissance, I think, but it'll be rebranded as the original name, Hotel Cleveland, in the future. Let me see what else people were talking about here. Laura says, I attended the Old Stone Church on Christmas Eve. Lovely service it was. Imperishable Goods 13. I think you're talking about Old Stone, saying building looks weird now after sandblasting the patina off a few years back. Wayne says, not to keep texting you, but I worked at the May company 7 floors of stuff for sale and storerooms around the outside walls. No, keep keep messaging as much as you want. I love a lively chat discussion. One day, I know it's nice to have, like, be able to interact with each of you, but one day I think it'd be cool to have like 100 people on the live stream and everyone chatting back and forth. It's fun to share the history. It helps teach me a lot of things too. I know my mom tries to, afterwards she'll often, tell me some more history about certain things. But it's nice to read about it here too. Laura says, I'm glad to see new construction in the downtown area. How tall is the Sherwin-Williams building to be? Yeah, I forget off the top of my head. But if you Google it, I'm sure like Sherwin-Williams, Cleveland headquarters, how tall, it'll probably come up right away. Let me try to get a zoomed out perspective. Caffeinated Misfit says that looks a lot like Higbee's in Christmas Carol. Yeah, if the exterior, I mean, this building probably appeared in some shots as opposed to the regular Higbee's building just across the way, which is now owned by or operated by Jack Casino. Laura says that you're 82 years old and very sentimental about Christmas in downtown Cleveland. The department store windows were magnificent back then. Even though they put, you may have seen the Christmas video I did this year where I showed they had windows inside of Tower City now. It was nice that they put them in there, but yeah, I still kind of hated that they got rid of the windows outside of Jack Casino. I think I'll leave. I'm probably going to be ending the video soon, but I'll leave the stream in this zoomed out perspective. Kind of want to see how it looks compared to what I was filming the first hour in. Pigeons and birds are enjoying Public Square right now. Not many other people. Ice rink is still up. I mean, it's not in operation anymore, but they haven't taken it down yet. Oh, I do see here though, the barriers, they already have them for, I assume for St. Patrick's Day. Now I think last year on St. Patrick's Day, I don't know if they'll do this again this year, they had actually removed the concrete barriers. but then they put them right back. But one of these days, those concrete barriers are supposed to be permanently removed and replaced with permanent bollards. But as we know with how things work with city projects, it seems to take forever for anything to actually get done. So that'll wrap things up for today's video. We'll end it, I guess, outside either the Soldiers and Sailors Monument or the May Company building or the BP building to our left, which is now the Huntington building. If you enjoyed today's live stream, which started with my first ever experience at Slyman's, feel free to hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment. You can leave a comment after the video, but thanks to everyone who participated in the live stream as well. I'm going to try to time this up where I catch a health line. You can see that it's right there at the Public Square station. But they also have a station right here at East 2nd Street. This traffic light here is, I'm used to it, but it's like one of the slower ones because it truly is like one direction. Like when this one's going, even though cars are going that way because cars are turning, then the ones going this way can't go through yet. And even though it's not a very heavily trafficked street, the lights still last a decent amount of time. So now these guys should be able to go. And then after that is when I have the all clear to walk. Someone in that white van said, "We love you." Yep, we got the walk sign now. And when it changes walk, it's for the entire intersection. So this is walk, that one there is walk, and so is that one. So that's why you still look for traffic, but you can kind of like diagonal over here. The health line is often busy, so I don't want to, between that and trying to get my bus pass out, I don't want to film that portion, as fun as it would be. So I will sign off here. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in.